Yeah, indeed we will. But in the meantime, let's just talk to our panel tonight. Brian Lanza, former Trump campaign communications director, and David Carlucci, who's a former New York State governor. Let's kick off with you, David. Well, President Trump, very optimistic, saying that this is one of the greatest days ever in civilization. Is it that simple, do you think?
Well, it's not that simple. We know that. And I'm thankful that the president is putting his head down and working with foreign leaders to get a deal and get peace. Yet, as the person before me just said, there's a lot of details here that have to be worked out. A lot of answers need to be given in order for this deal to move forward. So it's not time to celebrate. We're far from that. But we can celebrate the fact that we have these discussions going on. There is a deal put forward, but we need Hamas to agree to it. And it's not clear what was said earlier in terms of, is Netanyahu agreeing to a two-state solution? Is that what this leads to? A lot of those details have to be worked out, but it's obviously a step in the right direction. And hopefully we can get Hamas to the table to negotiate and ultimately broker peace, and not just for a day, not just a ceasefire, but long-term peace in the region.
Brian Lanza, let's go to you. I mean, it's really the ball now is in Hamas's court. Will they accept this? At first we were hearing they were saying they hadn't even been sent these proposals. Now AFP, the news agency, is saying Qatari and Egyptian mediators have shared Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan with Hamas. So do you think Hamas will buy this?
No, they have to. I mean, they have tough choices ahead of them. They know what the path looks like if they choose not disarmament. You're talking about the annihilation, of Hamas. That's not going to stop. So if they're looking for this off-ramp, what they have found in this American president is somebody who's willing to sit at the table with the opposition and try to bring these two groups together so we can have some level of peace with normally in the Middle East. But Hamas doesn't have a lot of choices at this part. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, is ready to go, full board, almost blitzkrieg in Gaza to protect his country. And the off-ramp is this one.
David, back to you. Do you think Hamas will accept these terms? Because some people would say, well, if they were prepared to disarm, they would have done it before, and that actually what they want to do is fight to the death.
Well, that's right. My wishful thinking is that, yes, they will take this deal, and that's my hope. So at least that is an option, right? It's being put on the table. But yet, as we've seen, Hamas has not agreed to any of those points in terms of disarmament. That's going to be a key part that's a problem. In terms of moving people out of Gaza, it looks like that is something that they hopefully would agree to. But yeah, the question is, okay, let's say that Hamas does not agree. What does that really mean? And that's a part that is not really clear. Does all the power then go to Netanyahu and the United States just follows Netanyahu, whatever he wants to do? That part is not clear. That is very problematic. But my fingers are crossed, and I'm sure there will be a lot of prayers being said to hope that this deal can be taken, and that would be the best case scenario. So I'm glad there's a deal at least being offered. But we are far away from that deal being completed as of yet.
Brian, you know President Trump very well. Talk to us a little bit about the sort of, path that he's been on from that first meeting when Prime Minister Netanyahu came here as the first foreign leader of this second administration. And President Trump was talking then about a Riviera and moving everyone out of Gaza, through to now where he's going to be the chairman of this board of peace to oversee the transition and make Gaza a great place, he says, for Palestinian people to live. Talk to us about how he's changed his views like that.
Listen, I don't necessarily call it a change. I always tell clients, some are corporations and some are foreign governments, that when it comes to Donald Trump, you have to follow the policy and ignore the rhetoric. And the rhetoric is, the Riviera, the rhetoric is all these other things, but the policy always turns out to be much different. And if you follow the policy, which is what we've seen today, the policy is beneficial to to Israel. It's beneficial to the Palestinians. It's just not beneficial to Hamas. And I think for President Trump to put together a 20-point plan, I mean, that's an extensive plan. That is a commitment that this president has shown to the region. And keep in mind, he's not alone this time. The United States have a lot of support from Arab leaders that they haven't had in the past. So the opportunity is now. And so from President Trump's standpoint, I don't think it's a switch. The rhetoric always is different than the policy.
OK, Brian and David, for the moment, thank you very much. We'll be back with you in a minute. There's plenty more to discuss as we pick apart this 20-point peace plan and analyse it in full. But for the moment, you are watching The Context USA on BBC News.